I ain't gonna lie. I've been holding a lot of shit in lately. Oh, man, I just had like a 3.5 hour cry. What do I owe the? What do I owe the pleasure? What do I owe the pleasure? Last time we been together, he washed your car for you. He washed your car. He washed your car with no shame in our hustle. When you got them getting into that wash, and you know that chip gonna be good like y'all better stop wearing this slippery.
No one saw it coming, and the streets are bustling. Due to some really harsh comments that 50 Cent has made, Rick Ross is barely surviving. There is chaos on the battlefield, and it is not just another rap feud. Once you listen to the bizarre tapes, you'll see why Ross is going utterly nuts. We also have the full story on how they were made public. 50 altered the game in addition to making a move.
New York, just like Mount Vernon, New York City, Mount Vernon, and Miami, all that is the same, bruh. Nobody wants to be near him. Nobody wants to touch what he touched, be where he at. You understand? It's crazy, bruh.
Now it's pure madness and the smoke hasn't even cleared yet.
It's just like the devil just...
There were people sleeping on him, so keep an eye on this. Remember in 2009 when 50 Cent was out there skulking around, preparing for his next big strike, and Ross called him Officer Ricky? Everybody thought it was simply another rap drama, but 50
was never in nothing graceful and did anything graceful. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you say about, okay, he did the music, he had the bad boy legacy and everything.
The others were stuck playing checkers while he was playing chess outdoors and conducting an entirely other plan.
A few people, you know.
And although Ross was busy showcasing his Wingstop hustle and stunning in luxury whips, 50 stayed quiet while waiting and stacking receipts. His new checker spot and bossy moves made Ross shout with pride, just when he thought he was unbeatable.
And I know 50, he did a recent interview with US Weekly saying that the reason why rappers are quiet about, Diddy's situation is because they've been to his parties and they don't know what got caught on tape.
Bruh, those people who was caught at Diddy's party did not know that he had 250 tape recorders in that house.
50 claps back with force. As you can see if you've been following his Instagram postings lately about phony flexing, those were merely hints. The tape was then made public without warning on a random Tuesday. The video went viral in seconds and showed nothing but chaos, no lead up or caption. Labels hurried into emergency meetings, PR teams went into full panic mode, the music industry froze, and Ross and Diddy's loved ones vanished.
Tape recorders in that house that they took, that the feds found. So now with them finding all that and you being at a Diddy party, you know you may have done something that was caught on one of those tapes. You just better pray to God that they don't recognize you. Those people who know that they did something, no, they're not gonna speak out. They're not gonna say nothing. What part of the game is that? They are not going to come forward.
In addition to being a clapback, this was a deliberate blow. After waiting until Ross was at ease, 50 hit him in the spot. When his phone exploded, Ross was in the middle of a meeting and thought it was just another ordinary day. He laughed it off at first, saying something like, "Hey, it's just 50 trolling again," but then he viewed the footage.
He said that Diddy's been targeted because of what he said about those folks and those people. Now, the people who was on those tapes may feel like Diddy might be targeting them. Because if he's asked about who is this, who is that?
months, the streets were filled with rumors, and that was just the first shot.
Plead the fifth.
Yeah, I know that gotta be a terrible feeling, man. You know you did something wrong at Diddy party, and you hoping and praying that it's not caught on tape.
But they don't think they did nothing wrong. That's their lifestyle. That's their lifestyle, bruh. I ask guys all the time, if two men lay down, how many homos get up? What you mean? I mean what I mean.
What else does 50 have stashed away now that everyone is shaken? They've been waiting for the proper moment to light the match for years. If this is the only introduction, the rest can be awful.
Percent factual, but it's somebody in this story of things that seems more reliable than others, Race, is what I'll say it, just to protect my sources. But this source informed me of who these A-list celebrities are on these tapes that are being allegedly auctioned off online and through the networks. And it's put me in a little bit of a bind because I like to be fully transparent with the
These films, which included hard copies of Ross's receipts and disproved his claim that he never hung out with particular individuals, exposed Ross and some of his most dubious activities with Diddy.
Typically, I want to report these things, but I got to be careful legally, ethically, morally as to what we report on here, because as Ariel, the lawyer here, did admit, and I can attest based on the information I got from a separate, reliable source, people in these videos don't know they're being videotaped. That's a big issue, Race, right? Let's start out right there. If there are people on these tapes that don't know that they were being filmed, is that
of Ross publicly bragging about backdoor deals with eager new artists is also available, demonstrating that this wasn't an isolated incident but rather a trend. Although industry experts are worrying that this kind of material may destroy an entire legacy, the true cause of anxiety is that these tapes explore long-standing rumors in addition to Ross's most recent behavior.
Government was so interested in Diddy's baby oil that they took 1,000 bottles away from his house. If the government took 1,000 bottles of baby oil and somebody had things what appeared to be baby oil, and then you have to listen to the prosecutor. He said that they seized 1,000 bottles what allegedly to be baby oil.
The tale Ross has been promoting for years completely changes as a result of this. The entire industry is in disbelief. According to executives, seeing those clips was like watching a career melt down in front of your eyes. In a panic, Ross's staff scrambled to discover what additional bombs 50 might have in the
Telling people that it wasn't baby oil. And people think that that was baby oil, they out their mind. I don't believe it was baby oil. Yo, bro, when they went up in there, they knew what they was gonna find. They knew what was ever in that baby oil or that those bottles that appeared to be baby oil, they knew about that at first. You gotta realize 9 times out of 10, that individual
And since Ross is enmeshed in a crisis and constantly pitching big deals, the timing couldn't be worse.
told them what they was doing and what they had. I wouldn't put him past that he told them everything. So when they went up in there, they knew they had to take whatever was out there, and that thing that appeared to be baby oil, they took that.
In addition to causing agitation, these movies are ruining Ross' entire reputation, business connections, partnerships, and brand. The scenario is made 10 times worse by the fact that new footage keeps popping up whenever Ross tries to dispute it.
Let's see how many of those come back to be baby oil. Bro, listen to me. Costco don't sell that much baby oil. Where you know sell that much baby oil?
Yeah, I don't know any store that sell that much baby oil. I know Costco, they came out and said that they don't even sell baby oil.
When Ross learned what 50, his PR crew was left reeling when no one showed up.
You personally, right, what do you believe was in the baby oil?
If you ever seen a massage parlor being raided and they walking out the people, do they take the massage oil with them when they go? No, they just walk out the people who are
upon. Receiving the voice recordings, Ross cautioned that sharing the tape might expose long-held secrets. Even his name dropping went live. He was no longer even contesting the recordings. Instead, he was seen on camera appearing worn out, agitated, and openly threatening to kill 50.
Again, I don't want to get into the details, any remote details that could help explain or allude to even more of theories that are out there, or, debunk or confirm. But I will say, hearing what I heard, which again isn't confirmation, but hearing what I heard, it makes me dislike what Ariel's doing even more, because I think there are going to be people out there
Moment. The real fallout started, and people started to hastily move away. Ross's team rushed out remarks to try to patch things up, but Ross continued to ramble, blowing up their attempts at damage control and making matters worse by the minute. He was urged to cool down before going to war by even his closest allies.
That these people are victims, that they're going to try to say, oh no, they're just consensually thing and they were hiding this affair and yada yada yada, and I don't see it that way personally. I mean, and granted, I haven't seen or know, this isn't somebody involved from what I've gathered in these tapes of them, doing it to others in a way, criminally, like we've heard in some of these suits. This is just, it almost feels like, again, if it's real, like blackmail material that Diddy keeps to sort of pull.
Desperation soon ceased. Over. When his team tried to remove the video via copyright strikes, it was too late. By dawn, 50 people had already flooded the internet with requests for Ross's answers. After his Instagram account was banned for breaking the rules, he started talking in an even more bizarre manner and going rogue with burner accounts, and his legal team was losing ground to business partners. Ross continued to get out of control, disclosing unpaid features, calling out fake stream data, and entangling other artists in the tangle, which caused the industry to split. Some rode with 50, while others tried to control Ross. However, Ross's impulsive behavior made it hard for anyone to ride with him for very long, and none could ignore the mess.
Again, if this gets turned over to the feds and the feds bring claims and this is outed, that's a totally different story. But the feds do what they're going to do. Like what we talked about months ago on your show, right? When this first went down, we knew when hard drives were seized and things happened that, look, they're going to build a case. They're going to build a case that they think they can prosecute. It's not for us to speculate what's there or what's not. But to say, you have tangible evidence of something on camera that you've seen and that it's being sold.
Individuals were abandoning the ship one by one, and as the mayhem intensified, the industry's actual character emerged modest. When Mill reached his 50s, musicians began unfollowing Ross, and collaborations abruptly stopped happening. Even DJ Khaled said nothing. Drake then dropped a mysterious bar about loyalty that drove fans into a frenzy when Future shared a ton of guys on his page, and French Montana wrote about karma, employing theories a message. In a panic, the label officials canceled joint meetings, pulled performers from collaborations, and severed ties behind the scenes as Ross's support started to dwindle. When 50 made references to new tapes, Subo stopped booking Ross and all of the people connected to 50 on the same lineups and started to quietly rearrange their set list. The strain was intense, and everyone understood that loyalty had given way to survival and money. A fear spread like wildfire. Is this the beginning of a new East versus West style beef? Is there anything more in the vault if 50 has had these receipts for 14 years? Artists are now hesitant to record conversations or broadcast anything. That can come back to haunt them after what started out as another chapter in the 50 versus Ross story rocked the business. Who is going to be next is the actual question. Share this madness with your friends and family by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Make sure to attend. We'll see you at the next one. Diddy and Ross aren't the only topics anymore. The digital age is a big wake-up call.